What kind of decade was it? Well, thanks to the environment and gas shortages, cars got smaller, and it almost became a taboo to drive ostentatious gas guzzlers. Yeah, that's the kind of decade it was in auto. In the year 2000, Ford picked up the Land Rover brand from BMW. Chrysler started out the decade teamed up with Daimler-Benz to form Daimler-Chrysler. The first decade of the millennium was also when auto navigation systems gained popularity. It also marked the beginning of a resurgence of the Mini Cooper brand. By 2003, a second model in the Hummer lineup was introduced, to be followed by yet another 2 years later. The American love affair with the SUV was in full swing. Even sedans were getting bigger, with the Honda Accord and Civic both growing, as well as the Toyota Camry. 2003 was also the 50th anniversary of the Chevrolet Corvette and the 100th anniversary of the Ford Motor Company. In 2004, BMW got into the compact car market with the 1 Series to keep up with European and Asian car makers whose models were going smaller and smaller. Starting in 2005 and lasting 3 years, Bugatti began limited production on the Veyron, which offered a staggering 1,001 horsepower. 2005 was the year hybrids exploded onto the market. In 2007, Daimler sold Chrysler for $7.4 billion, finally unloading the majority of their stake in the already sinking ship. 2007 was also the year the Chevrolet Volt concept was made public. The electric plug-in hybrid will only make it to market as a 2011 model. The summer of 2008 hit, and gas hit $4 a gallon. Suddenly, consumers were running to the automakers demanding smaller, more fuel-efficient cars. Ford also started dumping brands in 2008. That was the year they sold Jaguar and Land Rover to Tata Motors. Cue the Prius to swoop in and take the market by storm. The Toyota Prius wasn't the first hybrid, but has been the most definitive. Introduced worldwide in 2001, the Prius has steadily been gaining popularity in the US market and was one winner of the rising gas prices. Another environmentally minded car brought to market at this point was the Smart Car. Ah, the Smart Car. You either love it or you hate it. 2008 saw this car finally make it to the US markets, though they had been popular in Europe for the previous decade. The Big Three, known as General Motors, Ford, and Chrysler, had not been offering consumers the fuel-efficient cars they had come to want. By the end of 2008, GM and Chrysler were bailed out by the American government.
How much money do you need to survive?
The worst case scenario, the amount of money would be significant.
In February 2009, they requested a second government bailout.
Chrysler is requesting a $7 billion loan to bridge the current financial crisis.
Chrysler filed for bankruptcy in May after announcing an alliance with Italian automaker Fiat. GM also filed for bankruptcy in 2009, after which they announced plans to sell off the Hummer, Saab, and Saturn brands. They also announced they would phase out the Pontiac brand by the end of 2010. 2009 marked a special milestone for Toyota. It was the year they sold their 1 millionth hybrid in the US market. It was also a milestone year for Ford hybrids. They produced their 100,000th. The first decade of the millennium may go down in history as a time of reinvention in the auto industry, a time when interest shifted from huge gas-guzzling luxury vehicles to more eco-minded fuel-efficient cars.